It's hard to get to the point where you're like actually taking care of your body, being mindful of how you're treating your body. Starting up like working out every day and being mindful of what I'm eating every meal and eating certain things, not doing certain things. Finally getting there. Now I can't not be there, but that's helped me a lot. Having structure with working out, that's like calmed me down big time. Being mindful of my body has helped me create structure around recording. It's just how every day goes, and it's made me happy. I like it. I think about dying all the time. This is a thing I'm always contemplating.
Does that make you appreciate your life more, or do you just get sucked into that spiral of really just thinking about death?
I don't ever really get sucked into a spiral, but now I'm more so like, well, that makes me think of regret in a way where it's like I'm supposed to have moments that I'm really proud of. And I'm supposed to have moments that I regret too. It just shapes you. So
Welcome to the Collaborative Resource Hub by Wellness Provisions. We're bridging the gap between mental health, wellness, and rock and roll. I'm Amy McBride, owner of Wellness Provisions, the most badass wellness business. Hey, are you feeling a little stuck in life? I offer wellness coaching sessions. Book a session with me if you're seeking to get healthy and ahead. Sessions are available worldwide. And check this out. Wellness Provisions supplies rock and rollers with high-quality supplements. We've simplified your shopping experience and given you a trustworthy place to go where you can essentially shop blindfolded. And did you know all our Collaborative Resource Hub interviews air on YouTube as well as all major podcast platforms? Subscribe to stay in the loop. Go immerse yourself in the full Collaborative Resource Hub experience over on our website. You'll have access to helpful resources that will inspire and educate you. So let's inspire each other. If that guy did it, so can you. Last but not least, my legal disclaimer. Nothing in this interview or the Collaborative Resource Hub substitutes medical advice. Please connect with your GP if you need medical guidance.
Marcos, thank you for being here. How are you?
I'm good. Doing well. I feel like I'll find out how I was doing later when I look back.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, thanks for being here. I'm excited to talk to you about wellness stuff.
Me
Are
too.
you ready for the first question right out of the gate?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. This is like a make or break. Like if I don't like your answer, the interview's over.
Fine. If I don't
You're like,
like the question, I'm just out. So yeah.
it's a good deal. All right. What does wellness mean to you?
Damn. That's a good question. I think it took me a long time to figure that out. Like I think like not having grown up around people that were really taking care of themselves and not really prioritizing how they were feeling or in every sense, like physically or mentally or emotionally, they were just kind of like I said, like just coasting the whole time. I think figuring that out as time went on as a means of survival is important to me. So for me, like just just personally for me, it means like calmness for me because my
Okay.
mind's always racing. I'm always like freaking out about something. So if I can do things to help myself get to a point where I'm just calm and I can, it helps me see things clearer and make better decisions. So if I feel like I can relax for a second, even if I'm really busy, and I feel mentally relaxed, and I feel like that's what it means to me. I'm taking care of myself. I'm not overthinking something or freaking out needlessly about stuff. That means I'm taking care of myself. If that makes any sense. To
I
anybody.
love that answer.
Yeah, thanks.
A plus plus. I love it. So how do you, if things are really busy or crazy, how do you like press the pause button to like chill your mind out then? What do you do?
I like to work out all the time as much as possible. That helped me a lot. People always would tell you that. They're like, if you just worked out, you should work out and take care of yourself. Nobody actually, people do it. People will like take care of their bodies, but it's hard to get to the point where you're like actually taking care of your body, being mindful of how you're treating your body. It's really difficult. But once you're there and I get kind of obsessive about things. So like starting up, like working out every day and being mindful of what I'm eating every meal and like, not eating certain things, not doing certain things. Finally getting there. Now I can't not be there unless I totally fall off. So it's either or. It's extremes for me. I'm either like all into something or not there at all, and that's like a character flaw, I think.
Yeah.
But that's helped me a lot, like having structure with like working out. That's like calmed me down, like big time.
Yeah, I mean, you know what to expect, and like order and structure that reduces anxiety, and just that not knowing what's coming next kind of feeling.
And that's my roommate. He's like my best friend, AJ. He's an amazing drummer. He's a little bit older than me. He's like only a few years older than me, but he said something to me a couple years ago that I never forgot. I told him, I'm like, dude, it feels like every day there's something new that's like that I have to deal with, and it's driving me crazy. And he's like, well, the older you get, you just start to realize like that's just how it is, and you're just like, what are you gonna do? Like, there's always some bullshit happening.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, fine. So I just learned to detach from that too, and not look at myself like a victim of anything, and just be like, well, everyone's getting fucked over somehow, so just deal with it. I've detached from being a crybaby, I think.
That's good. Yeah,
I
being
was
a
a big
say that again.
crybaby. A total crybaby when I was younger. When I was like 21, I was just a wimp about everything. Most minor inconvenience would send me down a spiral because I was so emotional all the time. Now I'm just detached from things, just good or bad. I don't know.
No, I mean, well, you can be like completely disconnected, which I don't think you are, but like detaching from like trying to control. Like you cannot control everything. Like you can control yourself and how you respond, but you can't control like external factors, people, things, politics, whatever. Like you can only control yourself. So,
It's a big thing for me too, like learning how to control my reactions to things. I barely figured that one out. I was with my friend Helen 2 nights ago. She planned a show for us for my old band, and it didn't happen. We didn't find out it wasn't happening until the day before, and we had been promoting it for 3 months. And so I had to tell the bands I asked to play, like, "Hey, it's not happening anymore." I had to answer for it, even though it wasn't my fault. But my reaction to it was to shit on the venue and to shit on the people that booked it, and I understand why I felt that way, and I think most people would want to do that too. But she told me to my face, she was like, "Yeah, that wasn't the best reaction to that." And I was like, "I agree. I wish, in retrospect, I wish I would have just been like silently, like, fuck everybody that, you know, but not to them. I'm very
right.
direct. So I went up to everyone like, hey, fuck you, you know? And it's like, I probably shouldn't have done that. So learning to control my reactions to things is a big deal for me.
And it's also just the fact that you can like look back at that and inventory the experience and see what you would have done differently. Like I wrote a blog essay about this, and it's like something like how much do you make yourself cringe or something? And if you're not making yourself like want to throw up when you look back at things that you've said and done, then you're not growing.
I
So
agree.
yeah.
That's why
So
there's
that,
a lot of like, people on the internet that are like really hypercritical of people's like personal lives. And I'm just like, these must be perfect people. Like these must like people criticize, they must have never done anything they regret or anything. That's crazy. So it's pretty funny to see that because I agree. I mean, my dad was a gang member. He's not proud of that. And it's like if I was as hypercritical of him as I see if people are of my father, like I see a lot of people go like, I hate my dad. And it's like I get it. because a lot of dads are assholes. Mine was, but I still love him and talk to him all the time. He's my fucking father. So it's like, if I was hypercritical of him for the things that gang members do, which is evil, horrible things, I wouldn't talk to my own father, and that's weird and stupid. And I think about him all the time when I think about things I regret. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to extend compassion to other people and their past and yourself and like your past selves, you know, because like
Just mind your own business.
pardon?
Mind your own business too.
Well,
Like,
that too.
that's number one. I'm not involved in that, and thank God. And because I have a bunch of shit over here that is mine that I have to not. I don't get that gossipy sort of, because I'm too busy dealing with myself. I don't know.
Congratulations. You're on a higher vibration, a higher frequency than other people who are down here doing the whole like gossip victimhood bullshit. So
I do a lot of low vibration shit though. Trust me. There's a
just not
lot of just not that. You know. But yeah.
well, so is there like a point in your life that you can kind of point to that you had to make yourself a priority, like put yourself first, your health first for your own sake?
Yeah, for sure. 20, 2015 and 2016, I was like, I'm just gonna drink every day for the rest of my life, I think. And I just did that. And for 2 years, I was just drunk every day and high every day. And I was just, I mean, I was depressed. So I was looking forward to the party, but looking forward to the party in like, which party am I going to ruin right now? Oh, that one. I'll go there and ruin it, because without knowing, I was that dude. Or what street corner am I going to pass out on? Oh, that one. Let's do that. You know? Not literally, obviously, but that's kind of what it was. So basically, like, I had gotten dumped really hard, and I was bummed out. And then that being bummed out, like, things, like I said, like, I was a crybaby back then. Like, I got dumped, and then life problems happened. They just piled on top, and I didn't know what to do. So I was like, I'm just gonna do drugs and drink for a whole 2 years. My dad, who I was living with at the time, I remember him marching into my room at like 7 in the morning one day and was just like, you have to do something. Like, you have to do something. And it can't be this all the time. And I mean, he said a lot of other things. Like, he was very mad, you know. And that didn't help. What helped was, like, I remember going to a friend's show at an art gallery, and I didn't even see the show. I passed out in a ditch outside of the show, and none of my friends helped me.
Because they were tired of your shit or what?
Tired of me. I'd be tired of me too. I'm tired of anyone that does that. Like, as soon as I see that, I'm just like, I'm not hanging out with this person anymore. And that was like a thing where I'm like, damn, I've exhausted everyone in my life at this point because of this. So what I did was I moved back with my parents. This is like a year and a half after my dad had that conversation. Moved back in with my parents and just stayed with them and didn't go out and didn't see anybody for like maybe like 5 months, and didn't drink or do drugs, obviously, and was working out instead. It's like, okay, I mean, I'm making it sound much easier than it is, but that's what happened. That was when I was like, I have to figure out something else out, because I'm literally living like I'm like addicted to drugs and alcohol. Like, this is like real. It's like 2 years of my life every single day, you know? And another point where I was like, I was at a party, and I remember taking pills from somebody, and I didn't know what the pills were or what they did, and I didn't know the person. And I was like, yeah, let's eat these. Like, I'm not thinking. So there's those moments there where I was like, oh, I should probably figure things out. and take care of myself. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
started like working out and shifting your focus and energy to that, but like, was there anything else, or like, did you read anything or listen to any podcasts or talk to anybody? Like, was there anything you remember learning or hearing that was like a light bulb moment, or, causing more of a positive shift for you?
Uh, I mean, I was playing music that whole time too, but by myself. So like writing songs, and then through that, I'm just such a nerd. I like look people up and read about them and what they say and stuff. And I remember reading about Towns Van Zandt, who I adore, and I remember being like, "Damn," because I found out how he died, which was alcohol withdrawal, heart attack from alcohol withdrawal.
Oh, I
Like
thought it was drugs.
he was kicking alcohol and he had a heart attack because his body needed it, and that's it. He died, and it's like seeing that was like, okay, that's horrible. It could totally be me if I don't do anything about this. And then my dad is a drug and alcohol counselor now, so I have that at home. Like I don't live with my parents anymore, but it was right in front of me, like the resources to be able to get through something like that. My other thing was like anything but being religious. I don't want to like be AA guy that's like religious now, because that shit is like replacing one thing with another in a very weird way. It's weird, but yeah, that's it. Honestly, playing music and being a dork about it. That was like the
Yeah.
biggest thing. And my dad is really smart. He's like old school though, very tough, very like he'll shame you out of whatever you're going through, which is how I handle myself. I'll shame like I said, I call myself a crybaby.
Right.
But that's it. Honestly, there's not. Podcast. No offense, I'm not a podcast person.
Me
Unless
neither.
okay, good. I don't like podcasts.
I don't either. The
Music
fact
though.
the fact I have one could not be more ironic. There's like a couple that I'll tune into once in a while, but I don't like podcasts.
Yeah, I started to hate them with like the Joe Rogan-y sort of fucking like pontification about shit that they don't know anything about. I didn't really like that, and I don't need to hear people talk about. They're just sitting in a room talking. Like I want to hear a point to it.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted with this one. It was like I don't want mindless banter. I want to like cut to the chase and like make this like usable, practical kind of stuff, sharing experiences that can resonate with someone that hopefully they get something out of in like a condensed format.
Yeah, so I hope this episode does that.
Oh, it will. Here's an advert in less than 50 seconds. Are you sick and tired of feeling sick and tired? Do you want to feel better in your mind and body? Then check out the wellness coaching that I offer. It's kind of like therapy. You can share what's on your mind, and then it's all about taking action. You'll learn new tools to help you heal and grow through what's tripping you up. We can focus on anything from physical health to mental health. Schedule a free 15-minute consult over on the website to learn more. And check out our Healthy Touring course. This self-guided online video course is for any level of musician. Whether you tour all the time or only sometimes, you'll learn a ton if your goal is to play better, feel better, and be better. With special appearances by members of Descendants, Teenage Bottle Rocket, The Last Gang, Lawrence Arms, and more. Head over to the website for all the details. Now, back to the interview. So what's like one thing that you've gotten from your dad that's been really imperative for you or has really shaped you?
I think his experiences as like learning more about how he grew up taught me how to like appreciate what I have, because he's first generation like Afro Latino, and it's like he's very I mean they grew up with nothing, and he's seen a lot of really horrible shit. I mean, because he was a gang member in the 90s, which is like the craziest time to be a gang member ever, and people were just killing each other for nothing. So there's a lot of wisdom that comes with that. You hear a lot of things like you hear a lot of like life lessons from that stuff. But I think the main thing from him was to find what you're good at and just focus on that thing. And just what it could be, whatever, it could be anything. Just if you care about something, you'll get good at it, and then focus on that. So yeah, he's good at helping people out of things. So he's good at shaming people out of their situation, which I think you should shame addicts, dude. You should tell them to like, dude, this is not a cool thing you're doing.
Yeah.
So, and I think he's good at that. But I think he taught me that. Find what you're good at and stick to it, and don't let things cloud your vision for what that is. Which I
Yeah.
did that early on, but now I'm not. Now I kind of have a grip on things. I do like drinking sometimes, but I'm not passed out at a train station somewhere like I used to be.
Right. That's good. Progress. How do you how do you how do you deal with regret?
Um, I think about like things that I regret all the time. All the time. And I realize that everybody probably does. Like things remind you of times that you did something you aren't proud of, like all the time. I take it as like when I think about things I regret, I take it as part of the narrative of. I think about dying all the time, just constant, just as a thing I'm always contemplating, always. So
But
my
really
thing
quick, does that make you appreciate your life more, or do you just get sucked into that spiral of really just thinking about death?
that makes me appreciate. I don't ever really get sucked into a spiral. Um, I think I used to, but now I'm more so like, well, that makes me think of regret in a way where it's like this is all part of that. I'm supposed to have moments that I'm really proud of, and I'm supposed to have moments that I regret too. It just shapes you. So there's things I've done in my life that I regret for sure. I wish I did them differently. Both small, like the show I told you about, and big things, where I'm like, I wish I was still close to this person or whatever. But there's never been anything so big that I'm like, I can't see myself the same way. Like I never lose sight of myself through regret. And I think that's what's kept me kind of afloat in that way. Like I said, I just think it's part of the narrative of your life. You're gonna regret something. I just take it as like, oh, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
You're gonna regret shit. Just try to do things you don't regret now, and you're probably still going to. So I you're kind of helpless in that. So
You just have to, I mean, all we can do is make the best decision in the moment with the knowledge and tools you have. And then like later on down the road, yeah, you're going to be smarter. So of course you would have done something differently, but like in the moment, it was your best.
yeah, and that's it. I mean, at that time I didn't know any better, so now I do. So that's what it's all about. Like I
Yeah.
just move forward. It's just there's people that I've wronged that I'm like, all right, like I always end up saying sorry. So that's good. That's as much as you can do.
Yeah. Also, I think that because I don't really like buy into the whole regret thing just because I think every experience has such like purpose
Mhm.
to like I don't know. But I asked this question in some form or another like a lot on the podcast, and very few people like think how I think about it. But the other thing with it though is you don't know what the other person needed to learn on their journey, like on their path. So like
Exactly.
you might have done something that was like super fucked up, but and regret it, like you hurt them or whatever, but like you don't actually know how they needed to utilize that lesson. So
True.
like it's sort of like all divine, you know what I mean?
It's out of our reach. It's just like things happen, people do things. You're never gonna truly understand why people do the things they do. So and why you do. The only thing you can do is try to figure out why you did what you did or whatever, and move on. And if
Yeah.
people forgive you, they forgive you. But I don't look for people's forgiveness anymore either about things. I was really selfish when I was younger, where I was like, I would say sorry, but I was just looking for somebody to be like, it's okay. But I wasn't actually sorry. Like if I really dig deep in that, like I wasn't really sorry. I just wanted them to not hate me. And now I'm like, no, I'm actually sorry. And however you feel is on that's on you. You know, just like it's on me to feel regretful forever.
Or it's on
So
you to like make amends with just like the situation and yourself as you were present in the situation, you know, like
yeah.
just like right your own wrongs, and that's all you can do.
Yeah, and that's another thing like I got from my dad. He's done horrible things. He's fine, he's happy. He's watching like boxing and enjoying it, drinking with my mom. You know, they have another kid and like they're doing fine. Yeah, I mean he has PTSD from things that he did, and so do I. And it's like, yeah, like I said, it's I just process it for myself, like how I regret things and why, and then move on. And that's it.
Yeah, good. Keep moving forward. How do you navigate bad news?
Oh, it kind of goes back to the AJ thing where it's like, oh, really? Oh, that sucks. Well, how do we fix it now? We can't? Oh, okay, let's move on then. It depends on how bad the news is. I think the worst news I've gotten in a long time, my uncle passed away last year. And it was like, my sister told me, and me and my sister never have serious conversations. So when she called me, I'm not expecting any bad news. I'm not expecting any seriousness. She usually will call me and be like, what's up, Dick? You know? And we just talk about the cure or something, you know.
Uh-huh.
She gave me that bad news, and it was really crazy to hear her crying. I think I process really bad news like that, like somebody passing away. There's always a delay. I go, holy shit, that's crazy. And then like a week later, I you know freak out a little bit, but
Yeah.
just for a brief moment because you have to process something, and then you I get to the acceptance point first, come back, and then go, damn. And then I get to the acceptance point again really quick too. I don't know why I'm like speed racing through life. It feels like sometimes. I feel like I'm racing through it. But I think it's because I don't want to spend any more time doing things that make me sad. Like so bad news, I just handle it as quick as I can. And also like I was with a girl when I was 18, from 16 to 22, and her dad died. And there was like this thing where we got the news that he passed away. He had been in chemotherapy for a long time, and then he passed away. There was like this thing that me, her brother, and her sister's husband, we just kind of snapped into mode like, hey, these people need us right now, so we can't be sad. We can be sad, but we have to be kind of tough right. And that was like a really profound thing I understood where it's like you kind of have to be you can be sad when bad news happens, you can be hurt or whatever you feel, but there's other people that probably are affected by this too, and you got to be there for them too.
Yeah.
So I think I took from that moment to just like be calm, just be calm, remain calm through bad news.
Yeah.
Horrible things happen.
Yeah. And also, I mean, it's like, and that's good, staying like functional and like being like proactive with things in moments like that. But then it's like a slippery slope because then you can just like completely like suppress your feelings and never process them because you're just busy just staying on the surface functioning for everybody
Yeah,
else. But
if I'm like feeling the bad news alone, I can get real like deep into that sadness or something. You know, when I think bad news, I think people dying because now like a bunch of my friends are just dying now, and it's like it's kind of fucked up. You're not used to that when you're 21. Everyone's
yeah.
gonna be alive forever when you're 21. And I'm 30 now, so I'm like, oh, people die. Holy fuck. So I just when I'm alone, I'll cry about it in front of other people. I'm like, damn, that's crazy, huh? And then move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So is like songwriting and stuff a good is that like a cathartic way to like process for you or what?
Maybe. I don't know. Honestly, like I was thinking about this the other day because this new band, it feels very sonically driven. Like I care more about how it sounds rather than if I'm expressing something. Obviously, lyrically, I'm getting something off, but like I care more about how it sounds than anything. So maybe I'll look back and be like, oh yeah, that's kind of where I was drawing from that moment or that thing that happened. But it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm more attracted to sound than my solo record. I was like, all of these songs mean something. They matter to me. But then I realized when they came out, like nobody cares. They care about if it matters to them, you know? So I kind of distanced myself from trying to write really deep emotional music to get something out of me because I'll get wrapped up in that and won't care about how it sounds. So
So it's
that'll
like one or the other for you.
a bit. I'm too black and white about shit. And like everything's black and white all the time.
It is who you are. Own it, whatever.
Yeah, it's too late to change.
Not true. How do you balance your stress levels on like the day to day?
I smoke cigarettes, a lot of them. Uh, honestly, just like if I'm in the middle of a stress, like I work every day. I work at a coffee shop, which is not a hard place to work at, but I work all the time, and that's stressful. If I'm in a stressful situation or whatever, I day to day, I'm probably in at least two stressful situations. That's a lot, right? Like that's a lot of
I mean, yeah, that compounds pretty quick. Your cortisol's just
yeah.
constantly switched on.
That's I think that's helped me be like to simplify it, whatever it is, just be like, this sucks, but it'll be over. And then when it's over, I'm like, that sucked. But this doesn't, I'm petting my cat, or watching a movie or something. Like,
Yeah. So being connected to the present moment.
yeah, exactly. Just being connected to that. That's the best way for me to do it.
That's good.
Yeah.
So what kind of food do you eat? Do you like to eat a lot of fast food or do you like to eat a lot of like home cooked food?
I cook every day, twice a day. I try not to eat fast food ever. But when I do, it's great. I try not to. I try to if I'm gonna eat somewhere out, I want to go to a restaurant and have dinner there and spend a lot of money on this experience rather than go to McDonald's. It's just I don't McDonald's is great. McDonald's is
Good
fantastic.
coffee, huh?
Yeah, they're pretty good coffee. The drip coffee at McDonald's is great. But no, I cook every day and I try to make sure I'm not eating like cookies and shit. I'm trying to make sure I eat good protein, good vegetables, and very low carb all the time. But I slip. I slip up sometimes.
That's okay. It's life. We need some. See, this is where it's okay for you to have a gray area.
Yeah, you got to. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I'd go fucking nuts. Like I was joking with my boss about it. She always asks me every day. She goes, "Did you eat?" Like when I get to work, she goes, "Did you eat?" And I go, "Yeah." And she's like, "What'd you eat?" I'm like, "The same thing I ate yesterday." And she's like, "It's like you're in prison. Why do you eat the same thing all the time?" And I'm like, Because I'm trying to maintain myself. Routines are the best way for me to function. Staying on my routine. If I Like the other night, I went out and got really drunk, and then the next day I couldn't work out. I didn't work out that day either because I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna work out tomorrow. It's fine." And I got really drunk, and I'm like, "I can't work out today now," and it threw me off, and I just felt like shit, like not just hangover, but like my routine is gone. It's kind of fucked up. Um, that's normal, but I don't want to be so high strung that I can't enjoy myself.
Yeah.
So I try to keep to a routine with food, but it doesn't always work.
When did you make the correlation? Because not everybody does, or, at some point they haven't yet. The correlation between what you're eating and how you're feeling physically and or mentally. Like, when did you realize?
I was a teenager and I realized that, like, all right, I was a teenager and I was super into Fugazi. I loved them. And I was like, oh, these guys are vegan. Are they vegan or vegetarian? I'm like, what's the difference? And I started to figure out, like, that's why I started learning about this. I'm like, oh, there's people that don't ever eat meat. There's people that don't even eat stuff that is meat adjacent. There's stuff like, then I started to figure out the reasons why was like political, and it was, it's different. But I think I realized, like, oh, whenever I consume a lot of bread, I feel like total shit. When I eat a lot of meat, I feel like a slob. Like, I just feel like shit. When I eat a lot of vegetables, I feel kind of okay, but I feel like I didn't really eat enough. So I started to realize, like, balancing myself out is important. When I was like 18, like around there, yeah, really young.
Yeah.
But that's back when you can eat whatever you want anyway and still be relatively healthy, So now I can't do that. But it was around there. And then you fall off and fall back on. But earlier this year, I was dating a girl from the South. I told you about this already. We were talking the other day. I told you this. And she loved KFC a lot, which I hadn't been in years. So if she's eating KFC, I have to eat KFC too, kind of, because we're together. So we're together every day. And I had it, and I'm like, I feel like complete garbage right now. And this wasn't that great. This wasn't that good. It wasn't very good. So, but she was working out all the time. I was not. I just didn't really, I just fell off from it. And then when me and her broke up, I was like, I should probably start taking care of myself, because I remember that made me happy to keep myself on track. I just remembered from when I was a teenager and when I was young, like 20 years old or whatever. And then
Yeah.
now I'm back in it. It's been like, what is it, September now? 5 to 6 months. I'm like rigorously taking care of myself. So yeah.
That's good. Yeah, that's like a thing that's like an exercise for people to do. It's like when you start to feel just like off off in life, just stop and like think about, when did you feel good? What were you doing then? What were you eating? Were you exercising? What were you, what was your day to day? And then look at what it is now and what's lacking. Yeah.
Exactly. So just putting two and two together helped me a lot. And I didn't go all the way. Like, I tried to quit smoking for a while, but I realized, like, I tried to quit smoking for other people, like people telling me I should stop. And I was like, do I really want to stop? I only want to stop because this hot girl was like, that's gross that you smoke. But in reality, I just wanted their approval, and I don't actually fucking care, like, about anyone's approval. So I had to sit down with myself about that. Do I want to quit smoking? And I was like, I do, maybe someday. And then I saw a David Lynch thing where he said, he's like 70 something years old. And he was like, they asked him why he still smokes. And he goes, because I like it. And that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it too. So what the fuck? I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be like you. I'm just saying, I'm I take care of myself in this place, and then I'm a little naughty over here. So, you know,
But that's it though. I mean, like, you can't you can't force any changes unless you actually want to do the damn thing, and owning like where you stand with it. It is what it is.
I agree.
Yeah.
Is it louder when I do that?
No, it sounds the same.
Oh, you know why? I think the mic is from the computer. That's
Wait, so is that
it
one not
doesn't
even
actually
working?
matter. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
This thing is this is real. What in the hell?
Nice prop.
Nice yeah, I fooled you. I thought it was on because I did a podcast before and I used the mic and it was funny. They didn't mix the audio really well, so you can just hear me like, thank you or whatever, like super loud at the mic. But it was working. I think I just clicked the wrong button or something. Like
Well,
computer.
I'm gonna trust that it was all meant to be because I can't really edit much with vocal stuff when I
Yeah,
do my podcast stuff. So
good.
this is good. Um, have any healthy changes that you've like implemented improved your creativity?
Yeah, I think yeah, it really has. So the thing about consistently working out for me and recording and making food at home, it's like it's become a daily structure where
Hmm.
I wake up at like 6:30 in the morning. I get coffee and come back, shower, hit the rowing machine and go for a run, come back, shower again, make breakfast, eat breakfast, sit here and record until it's time to go to work. It's like that almost every day. So it's helped, like being mindful of my body has helped me create structure around recording. It's just how every day goes and it's made me happy. I like it. So having that structure in place has made me more focused too, because by the time I'm done with breakfast that I've made, this healthy breakfast I've made, I come here and I'm like, I've only got 2 hours. And then when I have to go, I gotta go. So I leave, go to work, come back home, maybe record a little bit, go to sleep, and then do the same shit again. So it's provided structure for me. There's a window that I can record in, and that's it.
What
You know?
happens if like you sit down and like you're not feeling it or like you just don't feel inspired or creative, you just do it anyways or what?
Yeah, 'cause you never
Hmm.
know what you'll fall back on, or you never know what you'll find when you're recording something. If I'll play guitar and record for 2 hours and be like, this sucks. Whatever I did, I don't like this because it feels uninspired. And then a few days will pass and I'll be like, oh, that was actually pretty cool, whatever that was. Or the opposite. I'll be like, I'm so in the moment right now, so stoked. This sounds so good. And then a few days pass, I'm like, oh, that sucked. That was. So yeah, I kind of force
Consistent
myself.
output.
Yeah, you know, that's kind of that song, Accelerated Living. That's there's like 30 guitar tracks on it. It's like a wall of guitar. And I'm playing all of them because I didn't know when to stop recording. I just would sit here and just record guitar and do the same guitar over and over and over again, and then record and double those, and then like, and it just became this thing where it's like a wall of guitars because that's what I wanted it to sound like. But there's so many tracks on it. That song took months to do because of how many different guitar tracks I did because of that structure. And it sounds great. I love the way that song sounds. It's like a German nightclub sketchy place. And it's great. And I love it. I'm stoked about it. But without that structure, I don't think I would have been able to do something that I'm proud of like that, you
Yeah.
know? So yeah, I think being mindful of my body and what I'm eating and how I'm treating myself has helped me, create structure around recording for sure.
Yeah. That's cool. Who inspires you?
Who inspires me? What do you mean?
Take it as you want. It's a very vague question. There's no rules with it.
I think like every day. This is gonna sound really nerdy. There's a picture. There was two pictures. There was a picture of Bob Dylan up here. I think it fell behind the piano.
Oh no.
It's normally there. And there's another one by my AC unit. There's like two pictures of Bob Dylan staring at me every day. when I'm in bed and when I'm over here. So there's just a mirror, Dylan.
Uh-huh.
I haven't listened to his music in like years, but he's my favorite of anyone ever, no matter what I say, because I say everything's my favorite, but no matter what I say, that's my actual favorite. He's like a deity or something.
Okay.
Because my favorite people are like, oh, the people will say that they suck because they don't understand it. I'm like, no, you just don't get it. Like, you suck. This doesn't suck. Dylan doesn't suck. Um, he inspires me a lot just on his energy alone. But that's like a famous person that inspires me, you know. But my friend Dakota, she's coming over later to. We're making a record together.
Mm-hmm.
She inspires me in like this weird like sister way where it's like big. I called her. It's like my big sister if I had one. She inspires me like that so much. She doesn't take music very seriously. She takes her songs seriously, but not like this scope of like, oh, we have to put this out and like we have to promote it. We have to, she's very anti LA culture with the music, and it's only about the songs.
Yeah,
That's what I like, and that inspires me a lot too.
that's good.
Not too many people inspire me. I think just yeah, Dakota and Bob Dylan are my two inspirations.
So she cares more about just like making good music,
Yes.
and then it lands how it lands. That's, yeah.
She's
And
not
that's
one
like
of
the
those
best
people.
outlook anyways for anything creative.
Yeah, you have to care about what you're making. You can't care about how it's going to be perceived. You just because you don't know.
Yeah.
Like you just don't know how people are going to take anything, and you just have to assume that the people listening probably don't make anything. Because I don't listen to other people's records that often. I listen to meaning like people I know. I just support them because they're my friends. But I'm not like this is the best record, and it's like it's Dakota's album. Like I believe in her music, but I don't think her like I'm not gonna compare her shit to like fucking the Velvet Underground or like because that's how my brain works. Like I want to hear the best thing possible, you know. But I support my friends, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I don't even know what I was getting at. And also, I'm more inspired by movies. Movies inspire me more than people do.
How so?
Yeah, because imagery is really important to sound, and sound is really important to imagery. Sometimes, like in movies, if there's no music happening or there's no sound in the scene, it can make the scene better. And if there is this, sometimes songs, most of the time, songs make the scenes better. It's just how it is. So, like, I think when I watch a movie, it'll take me out of the conventions of music and it'll put me into whatever space that it's just a different medium. So it's inspiring me indirectly.
Do you ever like think of your life, or like if you're in a moment, like presently in a moment, do you like hear a song in your head, like if it was like your life was a movie and like what soundtrack would be playing?
Oh, for sure. But I always have headphones on. So it goes that way anyway.
So you're literally doing that.
That's great. I think that's what made me want to make music too, was attaching real life moments to songs, and that'll make me cry, like that thought, because there's so many things that I think about that, like times in my life that I have to have whatever was playing. Like there's this, what is it? Lou Reed's "Take a Walk on the Wild Side." It's like one of the best songs ever, forever, ever. That song reminds me so distinctly of a singular person that I'm like, and they know that too. That it's like that's important. That's so important, and like that's just how my life works. I guess I can't help it. I think most people are like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Sound is definitely like a very strong, like memory, sensory kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right. This is a very fun question. If you had to have like your own like self-care day, like Marco's day of like awesomeness, what would you do? Your routine, or would you stray from it?
So like it would just have to be a thing where I get to do what I want day.
Yeah,
So it's like a birthday basically.
sure. If you celebrate your birthday like that, yes.
I think it would be my routine, but it would be like half of it. Like well, no, it would be my routine, and then it would be like, yeah, honest, I'm so boring, man. Yeah, routine. It'd just be the same thing. Because there's times I just want to fucking be home and not do anything. I don't like the beach. I don't like the beach. I don't like. No, I
Would
would
you
go
go like,
to
would you go
what?
camping or something?
Yeah,
Out,
camping. I would go fishing. How about that? I love fishing.
perfect.
Go fishing, and then I'd go to the Norton Simon Museum. I love the Norton Simon Museum.
What's
It's
that?
a modern art museum in Pasadena. It's like they've got dope shit, but it's not like a place that people go to because it's not architecturally incredible. It's just they've got like a fucking Van Gogh painting in there though. And they've got a Rodin fucking sculpture. It's like there's dope shit in there. There's real art in there, but the kids don't go because it's not the Getty where you get to be on a cute train. Yeah,
All the more reason to go then, because they're not there.
yeah. I hate people, so I'll go alone.
Perfect. So is there a quote that you like a lot?
Let me pull it up. I have it right here. Yes, there is.
Let's hear it.
We talked about him in the beginning. This Towns Van Zandt.
Coming full
And this is
circle. I
what
love
he
it.
said. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. He said, "I don't envision a very long life for myself." That's crazy. First of all, it's crazy already. He said, "I think my life will run out before my work does because I've designed it that way." There's so much there because of how he died.
Yeah.
He said, "I think his life will run out before his work does." Like he knows that what you leave behind is more important almost. And he lived a long time. I mean, he didn't die at like 27, like the classic rock star thing. He lived up for a while. His songs are really meaningful to me, and I mean, I believe he died before I was born. I think the point is, I never got to meet the guy, and I never will. He's dead, so it's kind of the fact that what you leave behind as an artist, it resonates with people after you're dead. It could, if you really try to create something timeless. It inspires me a lot because, like I said, I'm zooming through life for some reason. So when I know that when I'm dead, whatever I created would stick around somehow. So people hopefully would be listening to it later, and that's my goal, you know. But I'm also trying to live a long time, so I don't know. It's a dark
Yeah.
quote, but it's real as hell. It's like when you make stuff, hopefully you're making it to last because it's not you, it's an extension of you. It's like having a baby. So, you know, when you die, your baby's gonna still be here. It's the same thing with art. So
I think like, but it's like you can't create it with the goal being like, because it's sort of like I want this to be a hit sort of a thing. You have to just create. That's all you can do is just put all of yourself into the thing.
yeah, that's it. But if you do that, if you really do put all of yourself into it, that's a good quote. How about this? I have a better quote, and it's from somebody I know. It's from AJ, and I love this. When I first moved in with him, I was like, dude, I don't have time to work and be with my girlfriend and make music at the same time. This is 2018. And he goes, well, do you want to be a musician or do you want to do that? He's like, you have to pick one of those. And he's like giving me an ultimatum of like, you have to pick one is
Yeah.
I never, and now I think I totally understand what he means. It's something you do on the side. That's who you are, or you just shouldn't be doing this. So now I figured it out, you know. But at the time, not knowing, it's like, dude, it's right in front of your face. You're a musician. I've been playing music since I was like 13. 17 years. That's who I am. So I have to remain dedicated to that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the foundation of your life. Everything else just it's puzzle pieces, but that's the base.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the tagline for my business, because I do the podcast, but then I also sell supplements and do wellness coaching and things like that, is delay dying. So I like to ask everybody, if you had to give someone tips or advice on how to delay dying, or in other words, live happier and healthier, what would you say?
I would say to listen to try and connect your mind and your body together. Make sure they're always connected through whatever means helps you make them be connected. And once you're there, do what your body's telling you should do for it. You know, and that's it.
That's huge. That's like spectacular advice.
I almost sounded smart there for a second.
Yeah. You fooled everybody.
You guys.
So do you have anything cool coming up, coming out, anything you want people to do or listen to?
Magnolia, my new band. 2 songs are out right now.
They're so good.
Oh, thank you. I wrote them, so I appreciate it. We're gonna have more songs out. We have a full record we're trying to figure out how to put it out so that people don't just skip over it. But we're doing a music video for a song that isn't out yet. And then we're playing at Zebulon December 22nd.
Far out.
With The Intelligence. Fantastic band. One of my favorite bands.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. They're fucking rad. They're the weirdest
Another
band.
favorite.
Another favorite. The Beatles are my favorite too. The Beatles, The Intelligence, and Bob Dylan. And that's it. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Cool. Thanks for making time and hanging out with a fake microphone and sharing, you know, your thoughts. And I like how mindful you are and the awareness you have and the connection that you do have with like mind and body. I think that's awesome, and more people need to develop that. So hopefully this inspires them to do so.
I hope so. I hope so. I don't know. You don't have to listen to me, you know. Listen to your body, like I said.
Yeah. It's good.
I wonder if this works. Should we do that? Should we do the podcast again? But
yeah,
see
if that works.
Hey.
Sounds the same.
Oh, because it's not on.
Yeah, because you still have to do some setting on the computer probably.
I know, yeah. Does this work?
Yeah, now it's like booming. I hear it.